7 people on the commission.
One, there are now, how many? Or
8.
7 are on the commission.
Kid, how many are on there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You need 5.
And 4 would
Need
make,
four.
4 would make a quorum.
Yeah,
Yeah, because over half.
okay.
Excuse this
So
guy.
we need a quorum?
However, is she publicly accessible? That's one of the rules.
Yes.
Where is she?
Oh, she's asking a new policy.
The meeting's on ahead of time, so we don't know.
I don't know if Kit posted.
We did post it.
Oh, and she was the.
Yes.
Well, I missed it. Sorry.
Okay,
Was it working?
welcome everyone to the meeting. Excuse me.
Hello.
Rich. Welcome everyone to the meeting of the Arts Commission. I am humbled to be attempting to chair this meeting with our eminent chair here on the screen. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I motion that we approve the minutes.
Second?
All in favor?
Yeah.
Thank you, Kit. So Kit has asked to defer her director's report for,
It's up to 100.
Yeah, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Kit has asked to defer until July, meaning that you won't have a report this month or in June, Kit? Correct. Can you explain why?
Because I have a lot to do, and so I'm not going to be sharing a report until July.
Okay, so can I just ask you whether there's anything that's really important that you think we should know?
Not this one.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Lisa, tell us about the Distinguished Artist Award and tell us how the meeting was. A little bit of a, kind of a wrap up of how easy it was, how challenging, how everyone worked so well together.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a beautiful selection panel. It was a lovely process. Everyone really enjoyed their time together. They were all really great in terms of dialogue and self-governing. It was lovely to just witness something instead of having to actually participate, for me anyway. Let's see, it was really it was tight there at the end. The first and second selections were really hard for the panel to make a decision. So it didn't come to an unanimous decision. It was by majority. But everyone was really happy either way. It was like people were going back and forth between the two. All of them were like, oh, saw the pros and cons, and so so Matthew Pleva has accepted the award, and I've been in touch with him. And Summer Smith has been sent out the first press release, and we were just emailing a second ago. The announcement went out on the mayor's newsletter, and social media posts went out on Monday. The mayor has invited me to attend his show on Tuesday, May 21st, to talk about the award, and Kit will also be there.
You say the show.
His radio show on Radio Kingston.
That would be good for looking at the art.
Yeah, I know. And then what she thought would be the best way to promote it is by the Arts Commission sharing to their networks, all the members. So.
But you're gonna send it out to the Daily Freeman and all of that as well.
The press release already went out.
Yeah.
I suggested it go out one more time.
Is there an image that you're sending with it of his work? Because that would be a really helpful and a way of.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. The initial press release just had his photo. So I have we're actually compiling a presentation of his
Yeah.
visual works.
Yeah, but I figured just for the publicity.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. We didn't do any,
Lisa,
we didn't do a
Lisa,
Facebook thing, I don't think.
I don't know if you saw on the social media, the Maritime Museum also posted the mural of Matthew and congratulate him for.
Oh, great.
So I guess that also that will help with the, yeah, we should. I was going to share it. It's just that I haven't been stopped, but you know, if we can have more organizations and the media also multiplying the message, that will be great.
But we can also choose a detail of this work. I think that it would make so much more impact if an image went out with
I agree.
with it.
Yeah, but I think it would make even more of an impact if we all made individual invitations to our networks, to the people that you think would be most interested in this particular event. I did put together a little blurb as you had requested. I didn't put it on this, but I will email it later. I didn't-
A suggestion also about the selection panel. To thank them, you just read their names so it's in the minutes.
Oh, sure, okay. So yeah, the artist awardee selection panel consisted of Isabel Cotarello, Sakina Khadija, Kai Navarati, and Margie Menard. Oh, and Ann Chris Warren. Oops, she's not on there. Ann Chris Warren. To that program. So I invited all the past awardees. I sent individual email invitations so that they could all attend. Jaguar Mary is going to do in the traditional closing of the circle of her award time during the ceremony, which I'll get into in a second. But everyone, I didn't hear from Peter and Julie yet, but
Be nice to have them there.
yeah. But I do know that Laura Hope is gonna come. And what else? So I printed the program draft. I just kind of quickly threw together. It will be something like basically modeling it from 2022.
Right.
With a bio inside and a program of the event, and then the thanks on the back. So, I would love for you guys to review it. If you have suggestions for thank yous, now, I'm not thinking of at the moment. I put that the Kingston Arts Commission and the Department of Arts and Cultural Affairs is presenting this. On the cover of the program. Presenting the event, but,
It's the commission's event.
okay,
It's definitely the commission's baby.
so not,
So
I don't need to.
I'm supporting you. But, what about the money that it gets is, how's that? True, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Once you mention money.
Somebody's paying something. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so there'll be a welcome from the mayor. I'm kind of timing it, I'm trying to figure out the timing on it right now. On the second page here, opening remarks by Maria Elena. And then a word from the 2022 distinguished artist, Jaguar Mary X. And then there's gonna be an about the artist introduction. I'll introduce as the chair, and then me and Matthew both thought it would be nice if the Sean Brex, who actually nominated him, introduced him, because he wrote such a lovely nomination. And so he's gonna do that, and he's also an artist, so it'd be nice to have him on the podium. And then Matthew is gonna do an artist presentation of his work. He has a video and a series of images that he's curating right now, and he's gonna basically do like a mini artist talk.
But
Go.
10 minutes or more?
I think it's gonna, I was hoping 15 minutes,
Uh-huh.
but 10 to 15 minutes.
I think say 10 to 15 to them.
Yeah, that's what I basically said. Yeah, we were loose about it, but we're gonna keep talking.
I don't want 20 or half hour.
Yeah, no, so it's like a mini artist talk where he could just
Yeah.
talk about, you know, the trajectory of his work.
Yeah.
And particularly the architecture of the Kingston buildings and how it inspired his earlier work when he was at George Washington Elementary School. It was really sweet. Anyway, I had a lovely meeting with him. He's just a lovely human. And then, the mayor will present the award. And so I have the mock-up of the award. This is just the first mock-up. I just wanted to share. It's not quite
Do you
this.
want to send that to Relina or somebody so that we can share it on the big screen? Or do you want to just show?
Oh, sure.
yourself?
Maria Elena knows it. I don't know. Oh, do you wanna?
Oh, you can bring it closer to the camera.
So it's a new award.
Sorry, if you don't mind. I don't know. It's, oh my God. Oh, sort of. Okay, go. Beautiful.
It's not gonna be this exactly. We're not gonna use we're not gonna have the city seal on it. But the abstract image is kind of inspired by the city seal. And, so she's going to, amplify some of the details as we suggested, so she's in the midst of firing it now. And then closing remarks by Kit. And then we'll have a light reception afterwards. So the whole program will be probably about this an hour.
And Radio Kingston is all set?
Yeah, Radio Kingston, I just have to give them the details on the artist presentation, because I wasn't sure exactly what kind of tech we needed, AV tech. So, yeah, he does have a video, showing him working on a piece. Oh, his diorama work. There's a short little documentary, I think it's like 4 minutes.
Do we have anything on display, like examples?
He wasn't too enthusiastic about doing that.
Okay.
I
But-
suggested that we get, when he sells things, if he has these items, that would be great to sell, these little saddle,
The VHS tapes or the?
no, they're little sculptures.
Oh,
But
Yeah, he said
Lisa,
that you ordered some and he was like, is he gonna be there? I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be there.
I haven't gotten my order. I thought they were so cool.
Lisa, I didn't hear you before, but the person who submitted the nomination, it's gonna present him during the event?
He's going to introduce him.
Okay,
I'm
good.
gonna introduce him, I'm gonna introduce the concept of the award
Sure.
and then Sean will talk more intimately about Matthew's work.
Oh,
as-
so he already accepted to do that too?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, thank you.
He basically said he was not gonna ask him, but tell him.
Okay.
So I'll keep you posted if that changes, but I was gonna follow up with him and be like, hey, you're gonna be on the program. Anyway. What else? Okay, so I'm really hoping that everyone can attend on the commission and help. Help as needed, especially the commissioners as greeters. Down on the ground floor entrance and also here at the entrance of the council chambers, passing out programs. The reception is pretty straightforward in my eyes. It's just gonna be a few platters and some non-alcoholic beverages and dispensers. And then if you can stick around and help clean up, that would be great. I know Radio Kingston will be a while to break down, so you have to wait until they finish, Kit, is that how that works?
Staying on sorry.
You have to stay and wait till Radio Kingston finishes?
So the last piece is loaded on the truck. I'm the key holder. Yeah, that's,
Did she get back to you about, if they wanted to set it the day before? I didn't.
Oh, yeah, they've got both days.
Okay,
So whenever they want to do,
all right.
before, the day before, they have it, and then they have it all day, the day of.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I think we're in good shape. Now we just need to promote.
And are you asked them to film?
Yes, they're gonna live stream it on the City of Kingston Facebook page.
And then the film we get is gonna be raw, but it's great because if, we have the talent to just do some mini,
Little clips and
moments.
things. Yeah,
then we can, load it up on the website, Facebook page, and keep that going. Because I don't think that we live streamed last year. I mean, the last time.
I don't
We didn't have a video. No, I think we did it. Our IT did it. Isn't this the first time Radio Kingston is helping us with this?
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we'll have really good lighting. They're live streaming, yes, but also they will provide us with a video.
Yeah.
But it's just raw. It's not gonna be.
Yeah,
it's
they've done
just
our-
good to have.
It is. I mean, they're a blessing
They
for
sure
the
are.
city.
Lisa, thank you for all of your work. Really, I think we're all looking forward to the event. It's something that I think that the Arts Commission can be very proud of each time we do it.
Yeah, well, I'll just say that I think I think I've been pretty successful at formalizing the process to make it easier for future commissioners, hopefully, so that there aren't as many questions and, and we work through all of that to make a real legacy of this. Yeah,
Okay,
so let me know who wants to be chair next.
all right. I like it. Okay, shall we go on to the public art policy? Is Jennifer going to be with us or is it?
She's on.
Oh, she's there.
Yep.
Right, hey, she's changed. Oh, there she is. I thought she looked a lot like Maria Elena.
Well, it depends on which talking, right? I just wanted to say, Lisa, congratulations. It's wonderful to hear. I mean, from last meeting to this meeting, how much has happened, and it sounds really exciting.
Thank you.
So what would we like to be doing now? I read through it. I want to first congratulate you on the final, the near final product. It's a great work for us. Thank you, Jennifer.
Well, thank you. And I also just wanted to reiterate how much I appreciate the work of the Public Art Policy Committee, the city departments that have contributed, the Arts Commission, and KIT foremost for really hanging in here. I know it seems, since we're going like chapter by chapter, it's nice to see the whole story laid out all at once. And just to remind you how we looked at many different public art policies in this is very specific to Kingston. And I think that is reflected in your content to make it really work, hopefully.
Why do you say that, Jennifer? Could you give us a couple of examples of why it's specific to Kingston?
I think I will, I think that the statement of purpose is particular. I think thinking about the way all the city departments work together, I think we've spent a lot of time on that, and that is really important because once this passes and we want to be able to hit the ground we want to hit the ground running and not have to sort of regroup of like, well, now what do we do? So that is really the goal here, is to be able to have things in place that are going to really work for you. So what I thought I would do is just do a quick run through of the four different sections of the policy, and then we'll spend some time looking at the action plan. We had a great meeting last week with the Public Art Policy Committee, but in sort of reflecting, Kit and I both want to make sure that this seems actionable and overloaded, you know, if we need to spread it into 4 years, we just want to be able to put something out there that is going to. So as I said, the statement of purpose is really the core of the policy. And just to refresh everybody's memory, it is to encourage temporary and permanent artwork that broadens the municipal art collection to celebrate, reflect, and express the core values and rich cultural and ethnic diversity of this historic city. Right there, that is kind of encapsulating important things that are important to Kingston, and how this policy can help amplify that. To support a broad spectrum of emerging, established, local, regional, national, and international artists, that it Kingston as a premier arts and culture destination, promotes economic development, and makes Kingston a desirable place to live. Now, this is really kind of following up on the cultural plan, reinforcing things that were part of the cultural plan. And we feel like in our meetings, we did talk a lot about the importance of this for local and regional artists, but also at some point being able to create opportunities for other artists. To encourage the development and presentation of art on municipal sites throughout the city through thoughtful, inclusive community participation in a manner that is flexible, timely, relevant to context, sites, relations to the surroundings, including view sheds and audiences. And this is also very important, is to position the arts in Kingston as integral to the city's overall municipal responsibilities and initiatives guiding other areas of the city's work. This has a positive implications on economic impact, revitalization, smart growth, environmental sustainability, and creates cohesive physical communities with thriving public spaces that give residents a sense of belonging. And this, I hope in 10 years, you'll look at this statement of purpose and you'll see it reflected in art that will be in Kingston over the next decade.
Before Jennifer goes on, does anyone have any comments about what we have on the screen?
I do.
Yes, sir?
After looking at all 55 pages, I just felt this whole project is highly visually centered, probably 80%, which is probably what is on everyone's mind primarily, particularly as we default to discussing the municipal art collection a lot. But as I say at every meeting, I come from other arts, so I'm always making sure that they get included when we're building a policy like this. And I just would like to once again state that there's performing, there's dance, there's media, there's
So if would you suggest that I went back to the second point, that if we, in other parts of the policy, we've mentioned the different types of artists,
Yeah.
disciplines.
Yeah. I see that, but I think using the term artworks, it denotes visual, whereas just using the word art leaves it open much wider. Also, when we talk about locations for art, I'm thinking about the municipal art collection where it's being displayed and seen. Maybe we should change from location to venues, because venues is a broader word and can connote different types of art.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I realize I've been saying this off and on through all of our meetings, and I realize this is a very late point to bring this up. But when I read it, I just felt so visually oriented. I just felt I had to say something right now. Because we're not allowing for all those different artists to have a chance here. What we're talking about is our collection, what's on walls and what's in parks. For instance, I was thinking Dean Stadium, which the city owns, is a place for performance.
Yeah.
But this doesn't really cover it in how we position.
Well, it's sites for performance. I mean, I think about Gallo Park as, you know, how critical Gallo Park is as a site for performing arts in the city. Is that something that we need to think about more, or something like that?
Yeah, Deeds or Gallo. I'm just saying we need to, I felt very closed in by the way the policy was written, and it should be more expansive. Just giving other artists a chance to realize that there's more to us than just our art collection. And what bronzes we put up in parks and such, there's other things that we are interested in on city space that we will have a say in or a contribution of our expertise to. And that's just one of several notes, that one stood out to me.
Richard?
No, what DJ's saying, I mean, there isn't like and I haven't given this that much thought, because I'm more in the visual
So why are
arts
you
myself.
speaking?
But the thing is that it is a formalization of spaces, not things. And something that how the city looks at spaces, so that there's a kind of formalization of it, not just saying, well, this is available, that's available, but just the same way that we say a museum, or that we say a park with an installation. I think that's what, I assume I'm sort of buttressing what you're.
But I think that, what about, if, let's just take the first bullet here, and what about saying to encourage, did we just lose the first bullet?
No, I put,
That was the third bullet.
That, to encourage the development and presentation of the arts, visual, visual performing, in public spaces, and municipal sites, could be a way of addressing it too.
I think the arts encompasses a lot when you say it like that, because if you say art,
It's what artwork to me narrows it down, because
Okay.
I'm looking for specific.
we'll add that.
That's my-
I can't do it on the screen while this is.
No, of course.
yeah.
I just wanted to raise these, we can discuss it, maybe I'm in the wrong faction completely, and please correct me. For instance, that first bullet, that says to encourage the installation of temporary and permanent artwork, I made a note that said, how about installation, performance, or presentation? So it expands what art is to us. Installation to me is visual.
But to me, that is all about the visual arts, that bullet, because it connects to the municipal art collection. It'd be another,
That's number three.
Yeah.
Number one I'm reading. Yeah.
I'm reading to encourage temporary and
Yeah, I
permanent.
didn't touch that one, I agree with you.
Okay,
Right, that one definitely defined the municipal art collection.
okay.
If we just use the word art there instead of artwork, that would just, And-
Which bullet are you talking
I
about?
say throughout the document, drop artwork and use the word art, it's broader.
I also
My suggestion.
saw a hand raised with a comment.
I think that bullet needs artwork. I think it doesn't make as much sense.
Maggie is raising her hand.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to where it's the listing the sites in a manner that is flexible, timely, and relevant to the context, sites, art form, and relationships to surroundings.
Great. Sounds good.
Okay. So art form would come after sites?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Any other comments here? I mean, this is,
Sorry.
we haven't, I mean, I think that part of the reason I wanted to start out with this because this was written a while ago and it's important. It's good to revisit it now that we're
I have one other comment I wanted to make also. First paragraph, introduction, we mentioned growth of the city's creative economy. I tried to scan through the document to see if anywhere we actually pointed out that arts are an economic engine, which is the fashionable buzzword for that. We kind of just say economy or impact, but I think the economic engine, because we are actually a significant part of what keeps Kingston's gross domestic product.
Yeah.
So if we could somehow mention economic engine.
Did we say something about $160 million?
Can you give us a figure last time, I think?
I thought there was a figure in the report, in the plan. Am I wrong?
Master plan.
The impact, 160 million that we reinvest every year?
Something like, yeah, I
That's
think
it?
I think you mentioned it last time, I think, because I made a quick note. Yeah, but I think we need to just put that in here. I also wanted to say that at the end of this whole policy, we should say that it is a living document like the Constitution and can be amended and upgraded anywhere along the way to include new types of art and or new ideas or whatever.
Okay,
Um,
great.
that would
We also do have in there the art commission, the Arts Commission reviewing the policy on a, like, every other year basis, so that that gives you a mechanism to update it as you go along, so.
Okay, would you like to go on, Jennifer?
So this is just sort of the overview of what's in the first, the first section is really kind of an introduction to the policy. I think this is where this is the other place where we have tried to make sure that we're defining the public art in this broad way. So public art embodies all forms of art and culture conceived in disciplines, including but not limited to visual, performing, literary, new media arts. This includes historical interpretive markers or contextualizing historic artifacts. And I would say that this is also a place where it is making this specific to Kingston, because many public art policies are exactly what your DJ, you're raising here, is they're just really for visual arts. And so while some of the procedures are really relating to creating, physical artwork, they can be applied to other types of artwork.
I just have a comment. You have city both capitalized and not capitalized.
Okay.
Just for consistency's sake, if it's by the city, it's by the city.
Thank you. I have, as soon as we're done, our excellent proofreader is going to come swoop in and take care of all these things.
I have some proofreading things too.
If we don't have a lot of time here, so if there's proofreading things that you want to just pass on to me, we are going to be proofreading. So, okay. We also, in the definition of types of public art, we talk about the way art, the different types of projects that can support ways of placemaking, activating new municipal spaces, and engaging communities. So these types of there's lots of different, but we tried to outline some that really support what you're looking for in the statement of purpose. Through artist and community collaborations, art integrated into design, social spaces, and work inspired by Kingston. So, and I think that up above, when we were talking about temporary artistic and cultural projects commissioned by the city and ones that are on city property, I think we want to think broadly about things that, like you said, like performance, like a dance, danced. You could imagine some kind of written poem or piece of music that is used in celebratory ways in Kingston. So we really want to think broadly, not just art projects. So then we discussed the types of funding in a previous meeting, but I think one way to think about funding is that the policy is going to direct new types of funding that will reinforce the arts and culture sector in Kingston. So these are ways that the city maybe to date hasn't been supporting arts and culture. This policy is giving a menu of different things that the city can do. It is also, this sort of touches on how it's supporting the creative economy is through potential opportunities for artists and fabricators and building an art collection that reflects the changing city. It also has the potential to tap new funding sources, particular sources like the New York Council on the Arts, the NEA, lots of different places that might not have funded the city without having a project that's arts and culture. So it has a potential to draw new types of funds to the city.
Sorry, hold on. Did you have something, Cicely?
No, I said nothing. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, please stop me because I can't see all of you. So if, um, so we also, have talked about ways, like, we've sort of sprinkled lots of ways of community participation throughout the policy. Specifically developing new projects. There's ways for community members to be part of the planning, the selection panels, a bunch of different ideas for how to do artisan community meetups in collaboration with other organizations, expanding information opportunities, and ways to welcome proposals from artists, organizations, and others to present projects on municipal open spaces and sites and parks. And that allows a pathway to do something that has probably happened before, but it will just make it easier for people to see the city as a place where they could present their work. Anything about section 1 before we go on?
I just want to say that, Jennifer, the internet is unstable. I keep on getting signals. So if you can turn up your volume just a little bit, so we can make sure that the camera catches everything, I mean, the recording catches everything.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have discussed here the roles and responsibilities, and I think this is, as I mentioned earlier, is like been a very important section. I'm not sure if we shared this diagram with you before, but it sort of is a diagram the way the public art project will go through the process with the city. And this could be whether it's a conservation project or a temporary artwork or permanent artwork, that the project will come first to the ACA. The ACA will share it with the relevant departments for feasibility and siting and other related issues. Once those have been cleared, if it's selecting new art to purchase or commission, the selection panel will be formed. If it's another type, like a project that's coming from an outside group, it will go to the Public Art Committee to review. And again, if there's any more information that needs to be cleared before it's sent to the Kingston Arts Commission, that will review it. And then it will go to the mayor for final approval. So that's kind of the process, sign-off process in a nutshell. The Public Art Committee composition, this is, as you know, this is going to be a subcommittee of the Arts Commission. We're looking at 3 representatives from the Arts Commission and 3 members with relevant expertise that would be identified through an open application process, and representatives of city departments, the Common Council, and obviously the Department of Arts and Cultural Affairs. So that will be a new committee. The third section is the collection management, and I think, I really commend you for starting with this, even though it might have been really, your impulse to make sure that your collection is in order before you start getting a lot of new artwork is really laudable and really important. And so we've really provided a lot. This section provides a lot of guidelines for managing the collection. And I think it's important to remember that the collection is not just the things that are here today, it's all the things that are going to be coming here tomorrow. So it's really laying out a process for going forwards in the future of what building that collection really means. And I think that's that. So the scope of the municipal art collection and the statement of purpose, which we went over before, is really part of what will be used as you make your decisions about what to pursue going forwards.
I have a question about this. I just thought about it. The city probably owns the 19th century maps.
Yeah.
That are quite precious. do we think that those can and should be considered to be artworks?
I was up in the attic the other day, and we've got to do something, because you've got these rolls and rolls and rolls of over 150 years. And our building maintenance worker took me up there, and we're just looking at it, afraid to touch it. So that's going to be a project in itself to archive a lot of that, and hopefully it might be a project that we can ask the city clerk's office to help with, but that's only digitalized.
Ethan is actually historic preservation administrator in my office, is starting to look into grants to do that exact thing, to digitize them all and then get them to a place where they will be preserved and protected, but they'll be accessible at the same time. So that we're working on that with engineering as well right now.
So is, in answer to Ward's question, can that be considered art, or is that something else?
Some of those old maps are
They're gorgeous.
and they're absolutely, yeah.
Richard?
This is the kind of thing that for me, it was always really important, that intersection of art and other subjects. It's almost the same thing in school, that interdisciplinary approach, which because containing something and just saying this is art, this isn't art, is always very limiting. Whereas the fact that the arts are involved in history and the history is involved in the arts, because a lot of these things were art. They were illustration. They were.
I don't think anyone is disagreeing.
No,
The question now is how do we, what words do we want to put into the policy? In other words, should we say artworks, including maps and, I don't know, we want to say documents, because that gets way too crazy.
Maggie has her hand raised. I just want to note.
Yep.
Maggie, are you?
Yes, to me, that's what cultural affair, the maps fall under cultural affairs. Because that's part of the it's part of the municipal culture.
Yeah, but this is actually this is the stuff we're talking about here, and we just want to characterize the stuff.
Yeah, no, I culture is also stuff.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Sorry. Do you think I've been working in museums for a while? I think that we just, in other words, is it enough to say artworks? Or do we need to say?
You're raising a really good point.
Historical ephemera of something.
Historical.
It needs to have something that we.
That's I think artworks and historic artifacts.
Okay, great. We have historic artifacts in other places, but
But here is a good place to put it.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry to cut you off on this, Maggie.
Yeah, no, my only comment is that, dance is, we are including the performing arts here. So.
But in the municipal art collection, it's not quite the same.
Okay.
yeah. Well, one of the things we did say would be part of the municipal art collection would be videos and documentation performance.
Right, of performances.
So that would be, want to make sure these activities that you do are well documented and that those are part of the collection.
The language that we are including is that artworks and other artifacts?
Historic
Artifacts.
Historic artifacts, okay.
You want to say historic and cultural or just historic?
Well, we can also talk about material culture,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that's too anthropologic.
I think that material culture for civilians is a very it's something that people don't understand.
I think that this is going to be, which we talk about here, is starting this inventory of the collection. I think this is where you're all going to be weighing in as you start to uncover these things as you go along, like what really is. You're going to this is definitely an area that you will probably fine tune as you start to understand what
Yeah.
is, what you
Right.
have.
So the fact is that the videos and other documentation is terrific to have in here. We just want to add historic artifacts.
Yeah, I got it, got it.
Okay. Let's go on.
Okay,
I just have a question actually about the scope of the municipal art collection. Is there any guidance on how the inventory will be managed in the future?
Yeah, there definitely is guidance on that in the.
Okay, let's continue.
Okay, so section 4 is the procedure of commissioning or purchasing new work. And so we go through these, you know, we approach these various parts, and it gives you a little diagram of what the flow is. First is developing the project plan, so you're understanding would be done with with ACA, the city department, and some community stakeholders. And then the artist selection would begin once you sort of understand what it is that you're going to be looking for, with a call to artists and the selection panel and the process. And then that moves to implementing the project, which begins with a contract, and then has design development and fabrication and installation of the artwork. If this was a performance project, for instance, you still would have the contract, you'd have the development of the piece, and have the some of how you're going to present it. And then celebrating the new artwork is all the things you do to welcome the project to Kingston, and, you know, again, engage everyone in the process. So it's sort of section 4 in a nutshell. The art selection panel composition. This, I think we might have discussed this before, but the voting members include a variety of representatives of the department, the Kingston Art Commission, or the Public Art Committee, community representative, artist, and arts professional. And again, if this was a music related thing, you would be picking the people with the expertise for the type of project that you're seeking. The ACA staff is non-voting, and then there's a variety of advisors that again would be customized to the project. So that's kind of the policy in general. These are the appendices, and I thought we would just maybe switch to looking at the actual document as we look at I don't know where we are on time.
You're good.
Okay. So just close, stop share, and get the.
I have a suggestion, in the definitions,
Yep.
on the last comments that the board and Richard and Fielders made, we probably need to expand the municipal art collection definition. And I think for the general reader, we should define the word stakeholder. It's overused and a very good term. And I think it might be good for the public to know what a stakeholder is.
Wooden in the ground.
It's hard, right?
I also have a comment for the terms, if I may.
Oh, sure.
And on site specific, we have artwork specifically designed for and permanently installed. It cannot be permanent too, and it's still site specific. So could we add in the design for and / or permanently installed?
Yes.
Okay,
I think that response too.
thank you.
Good catch, Lana.
And
We're going through a lot of internet connectivity problems.
Okay.
It's doing okay yet, but we might lose you. I'll try to get you back.
okay.
Keep going.
Okay, so here we are with the action plan. And as I said in the beginning, this is where we want to hit the ground running with things to do that won't overwhelm, but will be, so this is outlined in sort of starting in the fall, which we're sort of calling year one, and then 2025, and then 2026. And so this is, the different actions, the descriptions, who's responsible, and then where does it refer to in the policy. We did, when we met with the committee last week, people felt it was the parties responsible was a little bit maybe duplicative, but I don't know how to pare it down. And I think probably when the time comes, you'll figure that out. But so we have brief and engaging the city departments and commissions, presenting the public art policy to the public, issuing an RFP and contract with a registrar to create the inventory, addressing any loans that may arise. So we have these activities as being activities for the fall. And I just want to know how that sits with everyone.
Anyone have concerns? You happy? I see a yes. Yes, a lot of yeses. Heads shaking the right way.
Okay.
Up and down.
Okay, so should we move on to the next year?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next year we have forming an active public art committee, developing and integrating public art into the ACA annual work plan. So understanding what will be able to be done this year in terms of goals. I want to go back to the public art committee. Actually, we thought of some things the public art committee could get started on. Obviously would be meeting regularly, would surveying areas that are open for possible placement, new relocation of existing artwork. And I think we could add places for performances too. So understanding like where are places in the city we might want to be doing. And then also looking at models of community engagement plans to see how other, to sort of get some more granular other cities. Then we had determined if departments have initiated or have plans to initiate arts and culture projects. So this would be sort of the second wave of meeting with the departments would be to see have things that they would be interested in doing. Because as we state throughout, it's really important that the ACA is involved in things before they get too far along. Seeking municipal funding to support the Department of Arts and Cultural Affairs and the work that's outlined in the policy to understand if there are sources. There's obviously the direct budgeting things, but are there other ways to support these projects? And then researching the feasibility of allocating a percentage from the city capital budget to art. And then issuing an RFP and contract to a conservator to produce a maintenance and conservation plan for the collection. So the first step being the inventory, and the second step being what needs critical care and what would be a time frame. I think that is all we have in the different things going on.
We did have.
Please.
We did have the two folks who have not been able to make meetings, but they've been with us the whole time, Anna Conlon as well as Isabel Nazario. I was able to meet with Isabel Nazario going through this over the weekend, and the one comment that she made, and it's probably true, is that the action plan steps moving forward might be a bit ambitious because she sees it weighing heavily on the ACA. But as we know, plans are made to be adjusted as we move into it. So I just wanted to note that she's a little concerned that it might be kind of ambitious because we're relying heavily on the ACA, but we do have a good commission starting this committee. We have others that, can move forward, so I think we're good.
And any comments from your other advisor?
Anna Conlon's just been sending notes to Jennifer.
Okay.
Jennifer's been incorporating them. I just wanted to mention that even though they have not been able to be in the rooms, they've been very, very significantly contributing. We appreciate them.
And I guess another way to think about it too is these things may be started in the year, but they may not be completed, right? It would like these are our intentions of what we want to get started on.
That's important to remember. Thank you.
So, and then in the year 2026, we'd update the annual work plan. So you'd have an annual work plan, and a community engagement plan, which are just basically, you're not rewriting them every year. You're just sort of like, what did we do? What are we planning to do? So that you're seeing like, oh, there's some communities we haven't been working with. Like, let's note that, or so it's not like you're making a plan. It's like resetting your identifying potential projects. So these would be new projects for new things and staffing needs, and creating concept papers, which is a document that's used by the Office of Grants to start the grant process. So that's where they start with. This would be like in that year, starting to look forward to being an initial project. And then activating an online portal, or just activating a method for people. Maybe I should just say a method for artists, community members, and organizations to propose self-funded temporary projects on city property.
While you're at it, take off the N from before method, activate a method.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry, it's just internet's.
And then
We're still on live, however, I don't know how, on the YouTube TV channel.
Okay.
So the internet is bouncing, but we're staying live, so keep going before.
So each year you would appoint a new public art committee or renew a public art committee member, because you don't want everyone to start and leave at the same time. So if you have 3 members, they're gonna, one will appoint your term, and then from there on, it will just be, you'll be rotating people along. And reviewing the policies and guidelines as they pertain, the goals and policies as they pertain to this policy. So this is where, as you talked about this being a living document, this is where you're having a chance to see what needs to be adjusted. And then issuing an RFP and contracting with an appraiser to provide artwork values for the and then preparing to commission new work would be, we have section 4 that goes into detail about how to do that, but you would take that section and really see what else you need to be able to really get going with this. Do you need like a list of potential panelists? Do you need, whatever the things that needs to be in place to really start going with that? So that gives you the idea of the years. So am I hearing it that you would like that's missing?
Yeah. Anyone have any comments or concerns? Sarah?
I don't have a comment on year 3, but I wanted to just go back, and something occurred to me about year 2.
Sarah wants to go back to year 2.
Where it says seek municipal funding.
Yeah.
Should that just be seek funding? Because anyone looking at this would think that, of course, we want the city to think about funding.
Right.
And in that case, the council needs to be involved.
Right.
So I think just seek funding, and that would be really all kinds of funding.
Right.
Grants,
Yeah.
yeah, city funds, everything.
Well done.
Okay,
That was
great.
easy.
Yeah, it's funny because this is important because I hear things in our meetings and I want to make sure they translate to what you actually said. So, and you had a comment about year 3 as well?
No,
No.
just year 2.
Great.
Anyone else? Shall we congratulate ourselves and especially Jennifer? This is a very,
Yeah,
very
thank you very
lengthy
much.
and a careful process. And what we hope most of all is that it will encourage and inspire art to be commissioned by the city of Kingston, and for more performing arts groups to use city property for their performances. This is it's a great moment, and thank you all, and thank you especially to Jennifer and to Kit. And I'll give you my my proofreading. I'll send that to you.
Okay, I think, just to close out this section, by the end of this month, we're requesting our moment with Laws and Rules to present this. And so the June meeting will kind of be a dress rehearsal of Jennifer's presentation, which is short. You know how it is with LaGuardia School of Arts. You get 3 minutes and you better hit them in the first minute. Well, this is kind of what, Jennifer will be asking for the commission's help with. She's gonna have a PowerPoint presentation. It's gonna be 5 minutes and rolling through, and that's around the time, because we'll have plenty of time. And also, if you really see anything glaring that should be added, like you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're thinking that, oh my goodness, we should have added this, we will have time 48 hours before we go to Laws and Rules, which is June 20th. We can give them a fresh new document 2 days before.
Okay.
So, but we're gonna give them what we have, what we'll clean up now. We'll give that when we ask for the time to present at the end of this month.
Great. I just want to ask Sue and Sarah, who have a good deal of experience with the city process, to really help with that part of it, because I would depend on both of you, especially you, Sue, because you've been doing this for a year or two, for your critique and your suggestions.
Yeah.
Great.
And I would echo what Kit said, is that, there's not a lot of attention span in some of these meetings because you're going through so much information. So to distill all of this, it's going to be a task for you and Jennifer to distill this into something that the committee can actually take in.
Maybe we should have a symbol, for our work, like the Pietà. So everyone will look, will see an image of the Pietà and they'll know what's going on.
We always have a dance number in between.
Or maybe Peter Stuyvesant, because he makes everyone feel so good.
A picture of that attic.
The attic.
There
And
we
the
go.
toys in the attic.
Like, we want to,
That's a good starter. That's a
Yeah.
good starter.
Yeah, it's for museum people, it's very, it works, when you show people what a piece of whatever they now have and how it needs to be cleaned up, it really does work.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hey, shall we go on? All righty, announcements.
Okay, so earlier I said that I would not have a report to you until July. It's not only because I'm very busy, but it's also because a lot of the things that I have shared with the KAC privately, we cannot share publicly at an open session, a public session, until press releases, radio interviews, and everything have gone out. While we still have internet tonight, I got a couple of notices that 3 press releases and 1 radio interview will be happening before our next meeting. So guess what? I'm going to have a whole lot for you to report by the next meeting. So we'll share with Jennifer and her dress rehearsal and my full report, which will have the, well, calendar up until September. Very exciting things going on. And then I would definitely appreciate everyone's input on some of the things I have on the calendar as well. And this is from the mayor. The mayor would like to, once we finish with this public art policy, the mayor would like us all to look at the 2015 resolution of the Kingston Arts Commission and do some revising. He's asked me and Sarah Pasty to work with him on redrafting to get things started, and he will give it a review, pass it on to the Kingston Arts Commission to work with, hopefully during the fall. He'd also like to ask the Kingston Arts Commission to work on structure. And I'm happy to, mention Cicely Wilson's name because Cicely Wilson's specialty is structure. That is committees or task forces or other councils. Won't know until you get there. So the mayor's gonna give some ideas about what he has, and hopefully this fall, concurrently, those 2 things can be in the works so that a revised resolution can be submitted to Laws and Rules at the end of the year. And coming into 25, the formulation of business alliance, youth council, whatever comes up, but just to get you started. So those are the 2 things.
May I suggest something?
The mayor is there.
That is not only refer to the public art policy, but also to the master plan for the arts. Because that was a major
This is
effort.
all revolving around that effort to go back to that. But also, as Eve said, and of course that comes next, but when she passed this on to us, we have to remember that a lot of the work that you all did was pre and during COVID. And then post-COVID, a lot of things changed for the better, but a lot of things changed that need work. So perhaps a 2022 master plan that was completed, that started several years before that, may need another fresh look. Not to say that we're going to rewrite a master plan right now, but kind of revisit and not get too hung up on that, because we've moved through 3 phases.
Yeah.
And we've learned a lot about what, the commission needs to move forward.
Yeah, I just didn't want to ignore it.
Right, no, we're
So
not.
that's what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
I would like to say something on regard to that. I think that has to do not much with the master plan, but with the implementation plan of the master plan that was never structured. And that's what needs to be adjusted to the new realities, because the priorities that we have in the master plan, with or without COVID, continue being there. It's just how we implement them and when and who we are bringing to the table is what eventually needs to be updated. But that's the implementation plan.
Well said. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, are you finished? Okay, let's go on to other business. Sarah Passy.
Oh, so yes, I guess I'm happy to announce, it hasn't really been announced publicly in the world, so you're some of the first people to hear this, that there is an Ulster County Arts and Culture Master Plan that is now going to be in the works. And this just happened within the last 6 weeks, month, where Lord Cultural Resources has been hired by the county to do the Arts and Cultural Master Plan for the county. And I've been hired to work as sort of the on-the-ground person to sort of facilitate, reaching people who can be part of the public, the project advisory committee, and help reach out to people in different communities to make sure that we've got sites where there can be meetings. And the way that it's going to be structured is it's a very fast timeline. It'll go from now until February 2025. And there will be a project advisory committee that is, I would say almost, it's formed, but there's still a few people who were waiting to see if they were gonna join. This is us at last week, so this is breaking news.
Congratulations to you.
Oh, thanks, it'll be fun, you know, and I know Ulster County well, so it's exciting for me. And, but there will be, as Kit has written on here, there are actually about 25 people on the project advisory committee. And these are people from all over Ulster County. Of course, about half of them are from Kingston because of the huge population that Kingston has within the entire county. And it's there's an attempt to be sort of a broad-based group, but it's never going to be perfect. There's so many people. So the idea is this is a series of concentric circles reaching out into the community, with the project advisory committee being sort of the people who know enough about the community to help with outreach and who are also willing to attend a meeting a month to weigh in on what's happening. So it's a working group. Outside that circle are a group of stakeholders who are the people who really have, you know, for whom an arts and culture master plan, you know, they have an investment in it. This is something from which, going back to your word of stakeholders, I was thinking about that when you said that. We have to figure out who they are, but the people for whom the arts and cultural master plan will mean something and affect their lives. And so that's a larger group. And then there's the general public, people who may not be involved in the arts, but, you know, have some ideas about what they'd like to see in their communities. And to reach the general public, there will be a series of 3 to 4 town meetings around the county, as well as sector meetings of bringing together different cultural groups with it, that might be creative art businesses or visual artists or performing artists and all of the different aspects of arts and culture, you know, including historical societies and, you know, poetry groups and everyone that is touched by arts and culture in the county. So the stakeholder meeting will be on May 30th. And again, it hasn't really been announced yet because everything is still in formation, but we do have the date. It'll be from 5 to 6:30. And I don't know who the stakeholders will be because we're asking the project advisory committee to convene or to name the stakeholders. And that'll be virtual. And then there'll be a virtual public kickoff on June 13th. And then within the next few weeks, you'll start hearing more about this and where the meetings will be and how the public can get engaged. There's going to be just like we have Engage Kingston here, there's a Participate Ulster. So a webpage that will have information about it so people can find out about it.
Are there model plans from other rural counties that we should be looking at to get a sense of what this signifies?
Yes, absolutely. And I would say that, you know, and I would say also that there are 3 members of your group who are on this project.
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about.
But I know what you're talking about. And I would say I will look to this group as well as anyone else who has ideas about other rural counties. But I know that is Lauren's job to do the research.
Yeah.
They're researching this, they're researching economic models for how other counties do business.
We're offline right now, so I can say this, that when I asked that question at the end of the first PAC meeting, Eve immediately said, yes, we've done county master plans in Charlotte, Mecklenburg, and other. And I was like, it's not gonna look like Ulster, we're gonna make sure of that. But also, I started to look, and Ward, you're really good at this too, to see, and Ward's looking at specific, because we're
Yes.
little towns and rural, we're
That's
so
right.
rural. So it's not gonna look like it, it can't be a cut and paste from Charlotte, Mecklenburg.
No.
So it's our job to
No.
look it up.
And I would say that because I'm the liaison to the consultants at the county, I'm gonna look to you to send me information that I can bring forward to them.
Well, that's
too.
a question I have for the commission.
Mhm.
If, because I filled out the stakeholders list and I started to put everybody in this commission, and then I just said Kingston Arts Commission Advisors. Because I personally don't do anything without the advice of the experts on this commission. And I just feel like the commission itself
They're
is a
stakeholders.
major stakeholder with the Ulster County Plan.
Excellent.
Yeah, and also we have to remember that there's another very large village in the county that
Well,
doesn't
there's
want to be ignored, that place called Saugerties.
Well, there's Socrates and there's New Paltz and
And
there's
there's-
Huntsville and there's
yeah.
Woodstock, and I tell you, you know, from this group, there are a lot of communities.
Right, it's exciting.
And
So-
it's very exciting,
Yeah.
and of course, what'll be interesting is how that plan relates to the Kingston plan too, because it's a bigger area and there will be a
Exactly.
relationship that will be developed between the two.
Stover is back doing the economic impact analysis.
Oh,
And I'm gonna be curious, I mean, that's what excites me, is that, you're looking at Kingston seat investing 160 million every year. Now, when we trickle this out, I believe, this is just my take, Woodstock and, Kingston are gonna be the primary contributors to Ulster County. So when we go down to the breakdown, and if Ulster County Legislature is then gonna come back with an allocation for the arts, I think we deserve more. Sorry, I'm just gonna say it.
You have to say it.
Well, because we're giving and giving and giving. And then the smaller, I do think that we need to take care of the more rural Ellenville and everything, but we're not gonna stay afloat unless the county reinvests in this. We are the county seat.
Oh,
So-
absolutely. And I think that's the question. Again, it comes down to like, what are the sources of funds that are gonna help? Like, or what already exists, within the county allocations that might be addressed to different services that the arts and culture provide. So all of this will come
I
up.
mean, New Paltz can claim that people go to Mohawk and Minnewaska. We're claiming that people come here for the arts. That's just I'm gonna have to drive it. at
but
this meeting.
I think we have to get out of here probably at 6.
Yeah.
So we have a few more things on our agenda.
Yes, so you keep going, but anyway,
Well, it's-
yes, now that you
It's
know,
exciting.
you know who to write to.
Maria Elena, you're
I
next on
have
the
to,
agenda.
I have also two announcements to add to this. On next Friday, 17, please come to the Dorsky. It's the second and final MFA show. And then yours truly is finally graduating, so please come and see the show. And the other thing that's many of you, I guess, already know, since I'm now the director at Unison, I think that we can also plan to do some collaborations between Kingston and New Paltz, and I hope that not only will help for the Ulster County Master Plan, but also for our own master plan in Kingston.
And congratulations on your new position.
Yes, congratulations.
Also, congratulations on receiving the Arts Mid-Hudson Artivist Award.
Oh, yeah, that too. Thank you. Thank you. I hope to see you all also June 11 there in Diamond Mills, Saugerties.
Yeah, we do have a number of Kingstonians. We got Michael Torres, Jafari Saunders, Carmen Lizardo. I mean, we're looking like they.
Mr. Promise.
Okay, so Kit, do you want to, you're down next on the list.
Did I say something? Am I-
City of Kingston ACA representative, Kit Potter, it says.
Does it?
Yes, other business.
Oh, that was.
Oh, okay.
She just turned it over.
And Maggie? Maggie, are you still with us?
The internet, we're lost, we're completely,
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, Maggie's here.
Is Maggie here?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you have an announcement, Maggie?
Sorry, what?
I have you down for an announcement.
Oh, no, she is on the pack as well, so I didn't know if she wanted to say something about, the service on the Ulster County Master Plan pack, or just mentioned what.
No, I got nothing to say.
Okay.
Okay, very good. May I, we don't have a quorum, so we don't have any kind of, we're just adjourning the meeting. Thank you all very much.
And we lost power.
Thank you, everyone.
When I got here, we had nothing, we had no screen or anything.